We are back and it's that time of the week again, more Switch eShop deals, and this one's the budget edition. Now today I have 12 games for you all coming in under $10 or your regional equivalent, and here I cover the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now this video, it is a day later than usual, sorry about that, but all sorts of technical problems yesterday were just hitting and I finally got them squared away. Now if you do enjoy this video, subscribe. We are pushing for 60,000 right now. We're only a few thousand away, so each and every one of you makes a huge difference. As always, then I do have a winner to announce for a $10 eShop gift card later in the video, and one more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and that winner, they'll be announced in next Thursday's video. New Super Lucky's Tale is back with 70% off and matching the low price. It used to be pretty rare to see this gem go on sale, but lately I have been noticing an increase in the frequency. Overall, I think it is underappreciated as well. It's a 3D platformer where you're navigating through the Book of Ages, a magical artifact. You'll navigate a 3D overworld map before jumping into different locations, and you can expect here a whole host of collectibles, tons of enemies, some fantastic boss encounters, and even a few basic puzzles. But Gaiden is a retro-inspired action platformer. Now the influence of the Ninja Gaiden series on this game is quite evident if the name wasn't already a clue. But there's also a Mega Man influence in here as well. You'll acquire new abilities from defeating different bosses, and you can basically face them in any order that you do wish. The combat and the movement, incredibly fluid, they feel fantastic. It's all complemented then by this chunky pixel style. However, do be warned, this game is not easy, but then again, it shouldn't be given those influences. It is meant to challenge you. Now it's got a solid 40% off, that's matching the low price, and retro fans, you should absolutely take a look. I featured this one as well in a Nintendo Switch Gems video, so I'll be linking that in the pinned comments. Panzer Dragoon Remake is back on sale, a super budget with 90% off. Now some people were a little disappointed with this release of Panzer Dragoon. I, however, wasn't, as you'll see in my review in the pinned comments. The controls, which have since actually been patched as well, they are definitely tighter, but it's a classic on-rail shooter game with a bit of freedom to move around at the screen. It tells a story of sorts that's honestly never made sense to me, but you are chasing a prototype dragon to prevent it from reaching a tower, which could potentially cause destruction. I think it looks good, the gameplay is kind of sweet and short yet challenging, and if you are anything like me, you'll find yourself playing this game over and over for that high score chasing. A quick self-plug then, XPCorner.net is up and running. If you want to see written reviews, previews, and find a hub for all of these deals videos, do go and check it out. I've linked it in the pinned comment. It's really going to help us out a huge amount as well, and it is fully optimized whether you're on desktop or a phone. We also have a ton of news over there as well, which you won't see on the channels, from game announcements to new trailers and updates. We're also then going to be covering all platforms as well, so that's Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, even the occasional dash of like iOS and Android. Again, the link's in the pinned comment. Come take a look, see if it's going to be a website for you. Islanders is a relaxed, minimalistic strategy game centered around building cities on small islands. The core idea of this game is to establish a smaller beginning and subsequently escalate to build something bigger, from cities to, I guess, different landscapes. Definitely offers bite-sized elements, but not only in its world, but also in terms of that playtime as well, maybe a couple of hours to wrap it up. It is, however, the kind of game that you can return to, because I have done that myself. 55% off is a new low price. Iris.Fall is back with 50% off. Now I reviewed it on the channel and my only complaint was really about the short runtime. It wraps up within a couple of hours and there's little in the way of replayability. However, with this price point, I do think it is easier to digest. Now the experience, it's a unique puzzle game that plays with the theme of shadows, and these shadows, they come from environmental objects. So basically you move these different light sources to build different things like pathways, and then you'll control your own shadow independently. Jumping between 3D movement and 2D just makes it feel really unique, and they get really creative as well with some of the puzzles. Love the black and white visual style then as well, and I'm curious to see where they can take this concept next. Check out my review in the pinned comments. Rogue Heroes is an adventure experience with roguelite elements. Its major selling point, in my opinion, is the 4-player support available both online and locally. Now, I played it single player myself, still had an absolute blast. And then there's this narrative where evil gods have escaped from 4 dungeons and you are tasked to save the day. I really like the fact it's procedurally generated. It elevates, that replayability, and there's also a heavy dose of Zelda influence in its build. I've linked my video on games to play after Tears of the Kingdom. This was actually featured, so maybe check that out as well. It's 75% off. Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga next, and I do suspect I'm not the only one here who expected a mediocre game, but instead it actually delivered a surprisingly enjoyable beat-em-up centered around the TV show. Now admittedly it was overpriced at launch, an attempt to capitalize on streaming popularity, but now with a massive 85% off, I think it is a steal. It's also a new low price for those of you in the UK, EU and Australia. I just like all of the options here, 8 playable characters, 2 intertwined storylines, one for Daniel, one for Johnny. Then there is also RPG mechanics, including 40 unique skills to master at the dojo. It's a big game for the genre as well overall, 28 levels to take on. It's topped off then with voice acting from the cast. Just be warned here, there is a sequel as well, but it is absolutely awful. Do not waste your time there. Civilization 6 is a game that lets you construct your greatest empire from scratch. Now, as a turn-based strategy game, it allows you to explore, research, conquer, and challenge history's, let's say, significant figures in a quest to create the world's most formidable civilization. Well, I can't say I have an extensive amount of experience with this particular build of the game. I'm PC preferred personally. It is still a great port. It even packs in 4 additional content packs that bring new civilizations, leaders, and scenarios. Come here to choose one of 24 leaders and secure your place in history. 80% off and matches the low, and I do think it is well worth it. Lego Harry Potter is a quick mention. It's a new low price, 75% off, and if you are a fan of the Lego formula, you'll definitely enjoy this one. It's more the same, honestly, one big collector fun, but this is a remaster that packages together years 1 through 7. Definitely a fun one for local multiplayer as well, and my parents are in fact addicted to the Lego games, and they're always playing them year after year. Wildcat Gun Machine is my pickup of the week, so this is not a recommendation, rather maybe you'll want to join me for the ride. Just know with this one, it's definitely high risk, critics didn't appreciate it, and the public score is a 2 over on Metacritic. I'm really curious to see what it's done to get such a low number. I really like the visual style though personally, and it's a bullet hell dungeon crawler, a formula that I do personally typically enjoy. It promises then 40 guns to experiment with, boss encounters and skill upgrades. It's also super cheap, 80% off, matching the low price, so I'm taking the risk. I actually used my gold coins to pick this one up. Sophstar is our penultimate game of the video. It's 50% off, which is a price we've seen before in the US and Canada, but it's actually a new low for those of you in the UK, EU and Australia. This is a vertical arcade shoot 'em up with a clear love for those genre entries from the 90s. It's also a great option for beginners through to advanced because it's packed with 6 different difficulty options and also a ton of modes generally just to keep you coming back. This includes 8 stages to overcome, a 60-stage cadet school mode, 9 ships and 6 modes. It is the story then of a character really learning about their history, and I come here for the score attack mode more than anything else. Take a look if you like the genre, I don't think you will regret it. Our winner of the week then is Trevor Parton, who had a quick comment for us. He has a sweet spot for beat-em-ups, and I do think there's a fair few of us who feel the same way. I actually have a review coming up that may interest you in the next few days here. That is Slaps and Beans 2. I think it's probably going to be worth a look. I'm still kind of getting to that point of wrapping it up right now. Congrats though, Trevor. Drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Slay the Spire is 66% off. That is a new low price, and this game needs a little introduction. For many, it will be the king of the roguelike deck builder genre, and honestly, understandably so. If you are curious to my personal top picks, I actually did a top 10 all around this genre for the Switch, so I'll be linking that in the pinned comment below. This game, though, it's all about progressing up the title of Spire, and expect here a huge selection of cards, a decent amount of challenge with a massive selection of difficulty options, procedural generation, and yeah, this is a steal. It's highly recommended from me. I really do not think you can go wrong if you do like the genre. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week? Let us know in the comments with that. Hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone.